close out there. Who's that back there with the 1?
That's Mark Martin just behind them there.
Jeff
Jeff
Gordon. 88.
We're riding with Jeff Gordon.
The 1 and the 88 for 8th and 9th, Artie.
The 99 and Jeff Gordon are battling also.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, this whole pack right here is good from the 1 on back.
Gordon's trying to run the high side now.
We can watch the 99 try to make up his lost ground from the pit boo-boo.
Ooh, look at him fight that car.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
That's the one we want to see.
Yeah, he is. He's not just riding around. He's battling that thing.
So you think rush hour traffic's bad in your city?
I wish he'd fix his tax. Okay. That's what you call hustling the car there, when you see a guy fighting that much in the corner.
He's working hard.
There he is.
He's not had a good car tonight. How many times can you say that about Jeff and Charlotte?
Yeah, exactly.
Usually by now it is a good car.
Yeah.
Boy, I'd love to have been inside the car then.
Oh! Hang on. Hang on.
And then Mark's going to come up there and get behind him.
Back at Lowe's Motor Speedway, Charlotte, live coverage of the Coca-Cola 600. 41st running for the NASCAR Winston Cup Series. At this point, 282 laps are complete. That's just past 400 miles in this event. And you're looking at the race leader, Dale Earnhardt Jr., who has got 1.37 seconds on Rusty Wallace. A little farther back, side-by-side race for 11th and 12th positions. Jeff Gordon and Jeremy Mayfield here.
They've really been going at it, too. Slugging it out.
Riding in Jeff Gordon's car here while we look at what the car's doing outside. And, Buddy, kind of school us a little bit on what's happening here as we watch his movements.
He's going down in the corner, down in turn 1 there on the outside. This is what we call hustling the car. Watch his arm speed here, trying to keep that car right on the ragged edge and make time on the car he's trying to pass there. He's fighting this race car. It is not driving just to suit him, but he's making up for it in just hard driving. Back and forth on the steering wheel. About right here, he'll really get the sawing on that baby.
Sounded like he had to stay out of the gas a little bit there.
He's not had much fun with that race car tonight.
No.
This has not been the competitive race car that we expect to see Jeff Gordon drive here at Lowe's Motor Speedway.
Yeah, we were laughing, I shouldn't say laughing, we were talking as Mayfield just blows by Jeremy.
Gone.
By Jeff, rather.
That looks like Jeff might have had a problem there in that corner with getting a little bit loose because he was outrunning the 12 there for a few laps. And you can see the car sliding up towards the outside wall now.
We were talking during the commercial among ourselves, how many times can you say Jeff Gordon's just not had a good car at Charlotte? Recent history, I don't even think he's been in the top 10 except for once earlier when he led for a lap on an exchange of green flag pit stops by staying on the racetrack longer than everybody else did.
Well, usually by now he's got that car dialed in, so he's really quick. Not tonight. Gordon running at 12th spot and losing ground.
There's the leader, Dale Earnhardt Jr., who's added another 0.6 of a second on to his advantage over Rusty Wallace. It's 1.9 seconds now from first back to second, and Rusty is pulled away from Dale Earnhardt, the third-place car, by a huge margin, almost 3 seconds between second and third. Moving up and moving back, Mike Skinner up to 4th position. See, Kenny Irwin's gained a few spots. Rusty Wallace picking up 4 positions from lap 200 to lap 286, where we are now, sliding back. Jerry Nadeau, the engine problem, dropping him to the last car on the lead lap. Tony Stewart has lost a handful of positions over the last little while. Now running 1 lap down in 15th position. Robert Presley with our Circuit City telemetry. We've watched Robert basically struggle with this car for much of the night.
And that's not a lead car right there, and it's turning 8,600 RPMs down the straightaways. That gives you an idea of what these guys are doing that are running maybe 2/10 quicker a lap.
See the sparks fly as the brakes swear.
Okay, this is the shock right here. You can see it going up and down. This is the coil spring, and this is the plate on the top. When you hear us say they put wedge into it, they run this down, and that puts more tension on the spring itself.
While we're watching that, Dale Earnhardt Jr. continues widening his advantage over Rusty Wallace. Look at the gap now.
Boy, what a run he has had from Texas on, huh? Winning Texas and then off to win again at Richmond and then the pole here and win the Winston. And gee, he's going to remember these 2 days. And he's still got a yellow stripe on the back bumper.
Yeah, he's still a rookie.
Yeah, a rookie.
Yeah, he's a rookie, okay, but I'll tell you what, being brought up in a home with a person like Dale Earnhardt, it's like you're racing when you're 5 years old. Conversation around the table is not baseball, it's racing.
But he's got an enormous amount of talent, too. I mean, he came into NASCAR's Busch Grand National Series, and in his first year, he's Rookie of the Year, won the championship. 2 years, 2 championships, 13 wins. This guy has just got it all.
Meantime, Dad is running in third position. There's Dale Earnhardt, the 7-time champ. He's 5 1/3 seconds behind his son, Dale Jr. Mike Massaro has an update on the Earnhardt car.
And Alan, we mentioned the gap between Rusty Wallace and Dale Earnhardt, and one of the reasons may be the changing track conditions. Just spoke with crew chief Kevin Hamlin. He said the car is getting tighter and tighter every lap. Further down pit road, his teammate with Richard Childress Racing, Mike Skinner, spoke with team manager David Smith. He said the same thing. Expect them to try to free those cars up next time in.
Kenseth closing in on Skinner there to try and take fourth spot away from him.
What's kind of the book on this racetrack, though? If there's any one thing you can predict about this racetrack, and quite frankly, there's not a lot you can't predict about it, is that in this night race, as we get further into the event, the cars tend to tighten up.
You know, we heard Matt Kenseth say he really hated to see the rains come because he gets better as on long runs. Well, that's proving out right now. He's moving back up again.
Kenseth going after Skinner for fourth. Going to get that spot into turn number 3. So 2 rookies in the top 5 in the Coca-Cola 600 past 400 miles. Dale Earnhardt Jr., the leader. Matt Kenseth now up to 4th. The drivers in between them, Rusty Wallace in 2nd, Dale Earnhardt 3rd. Mike Skinner rounds out the top 5. We're coming right back. Bravesend.com. Thank you. I got them both.
Ow. Blaney showing smoke.
Okay.
Blaney's got smoke coming out of 93.
What up?
Yep.
I don't think he'll be coming back out.
That's not going to be good.
No.
Yeah. Especially if he sticks his hand in there.
If we do get a caution flag and a commercial in the right combination, we've got a radio with Rusty Wallace, who's running in 2nd spot.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah, it would.
Just make sure he knows you're coming.
The last pit stops for those guys were at 2:58. That's 3:28 for 70 laps, right? Mark is falling back.
I'll tell you, Gordon's doing all he
93
can.
going to the garage.
Ah, here
Whoa.
comes Parks back again on the inside.
Okay. Tomorrow afternoon at 4 Eastern, catch the East-leading Atlanta Braves taking on the Chicago Cubs from Wrigley Field in Chicago. Catch all the Braves action on the Superstation, 4 Eastern time tomorrow. And during our coverage of the Coca-Cola 600, log on to TBSSuperstation.com and follow live in-car camera action. A lot of the front-running drivers in this event carrying our onboard cameras. Log on, TBSSuperstation.com. Just about to hit the 450-mile mark of the 41st running of the Coca-Cola 600. Dale Earnhardt Jr. leads Rusty Wallace by 2.308 seconds. Mike Hogwood with an update for us on Rusty Wallace.
Well, you'd think that Rusty Wallace might be happy in running second, but there are not a lot of happy looks in his pit. He's talking to the crew members and said, oh, we're awfully tight, just like everybody else is getting. And then they also said, and right now we have absolutely nothing for the 8th car.
Rusty having fallen back so far because of 2 speeding on pit road penalties earlier in the event, but he has recovered from those both quite nicely. Thank you very much. Upper left-hand corner of your screen, our full field summary showing you intervals from the leader back to the position that your favorite driver may or may not be running in, or may be running in. Jeff Gordon 15 seconds down, Steve Park 16 seconds down. Now the car's a lap or more down. Jerry Nadeau has been overtaken by the leader, Dale Jr.
Yeah, I mean, that's a terrible thing. He's out there running basically on 7 cylinders and had such a great run up to just a little while ago. As a matter of fact, leading at the rain break. But you know who's really dropping back right now? It's Bobby Labonte. For some reason, he's just dropping right back out of sight. He was up to second there.
Of course, Bobby made the pit stop on the caution after we came back from the rain delay. Gave up some track position there, but you're right, buddy. He's not made the move back toward the front of the pack nearly as quickly as we thought. 8th position now, and Bobby is some 11 seconds behind leader Dale Earnhardt Jr. And there's Dale Jarrett. He's running in 10th spot now, 14 seconds behind the leader. Scoring serial on DJ, the NASCAR Winston Cup champion. Actually not scoring serial, but intervals from himself to the leader, and you can see he's been losing ground to Dale Jr. as well. Everybody's losing ground to Dale Jr. at this point.
And nobody can keep up with him. Nobody at all. Wallace is now 2.8 seconds behind. His dad is almost 5 seconds behind. Junior is setting an absolutely torrid pace here. But remember, this is a 600-mile race. And more than a few drivers can tell you stories about leading this thing at 500 miles and not winning it.
Pretty wide open view behind Dale there.
Okay, Alan, there's one thing right there. That's the most famous thing to have happen to you in your racing career. Look in the mirror and not see another car behind you.
Why?
Ah, that's a wonderful feeling.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, I imagine so.
Out there, flying, looking back, as they say.
Yeah, I imagine so. Dale Jr. talked last year in his debut here in the Coca-Cola 600 about having trouble keeping his concentration. He'd been running the NASCAR Busch Series, the 200 and 300-mile races. He came here, made his Winston Cup debut in the 600, and said the most difficult thing for him was keeping his concentration in the second half of the event. Now this year, he's been running the Winston Cup circuit, obviously quite successfully, 500-mile, 500-lap races. But we still heard him express earlier tonight a concern about making sure he kept his focus and his concentration the whole 600 miles.
That's a long time, a long race. That rain delay surely will help give a fellow an opportunity to sort of unload a little bit, calm down, relax, eat a sandwich if he wants, get back in and go do it again. So they've really got 2 races tonight. Battle for 3rd spot.
Matt Kenseth by Dale Earnhardt into the number 3 spot. So Kenseth, the other super rookie, continuing to charge forward.
And at the break, you heard Earnhardt Jr. say, I see Matt Kenseth on that scoreboard coming my way. Can't wait till he gets here so we can go back and race like we did in Busch Grand National.
R17 making his 17th career start in Winston Cup tonight.
Dave Blaney came down pit road a moment ago, smoke trailing from his car. It's gone behind the wall, and he's with Marty Snyder.
Well, what a tough day for Dave Blaney. Finally out. What happened?
Something broke in the engine. I don't know if it broke a piston or something, but man, Amoco team was meeting a good night. And we started off really bad loose, and got lapped real quick. And you know, after that, they got it pretty good when it got dark and the track got cooled off. We could hang pretty good, but didn't get to finish it. But I learned a lot. Got to run with some good guys, and we could have made it all night.
Dave Blaney and his Bill Davis Pontiac done for the evening.